Hello, welcome back to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I am your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Plurk and Instagram, I am Mel-Tran Designs. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2015, and it's been less than 2 weeks since I recorded, so yay! I have a cough drop in my mouth. I'm not sick, but it's a preventative measure because it's a doTERRA cough drop that has some essential oils in it, and a cold is slowly creeping its way through my house, and I would like to not get it. Plus, if I suck on something, it helps me not to get stuff in my throat. So anyways, it'll get smaller, I promise, but that's why I have a nice little bump in my cheek over here. I hope you've been well since the last time we spoke. Not a lot has happened. We'll just go straight into happenings this week. Not, like I said, not too much. Still unsure as far as what is going to be going on with Jake's job. Like I mentioned last time, he was looking at possibly being sent to California. That one didn't pan out. Then last Friday they said, we're assigning you to a job in Chicago. And he didn't have quite the right skill set for that. So now they are looking at a place in Texas that if he gets it, it could be kind of a cool thing just because of the company that it's for. It's a crafting related company. So if he gets it, I'll let you know what that is. If not, then whatever. So, anyway, yeah, everything is still up in the air with that, but I will for sure let you know when we know anything. So, anyways, that's really all. Just Quinn has been teething, and then on top of that, she got a cold. So after her tooth broke through, then she got sick, and the poor thing can't breathe, and now she's starting to cough, which stuff is coming up with the cough, and so it's progressing in a getting healthy kind of way. But anyway, and Cayenne is home sick today. She's over there in the living room doing her homework for tomorrow. So it's all right, Cayenne. Anyway, so yeah. Just trying to think. Oh, I was going to give you an update on my arm that I was telling you about last time, how I have my brace here, and I don't have the one on my wrist right now. Just it was itching me, so I took it off. It's getting better. Going to the chiropractor for the last 3 weeks in a row has definitely helped, and I have an appointment for this week as well on Friday. Tomorrow, I guess. Our goal is to make it so I'm not going every week, like I said before. But for now, probably for the next couple weeks, I'll go every week and then go to every other week. I've been able to be on custard scooping the last 3 days in a row, and I'm actually scheduled to be on custard tonight as well. Which, that's a good thing that I'm not in a horrible amount of pain, because in the past couple weeks, I could only do custard once, and then I was shot for the days after that. So, my shoulder tendon has stayed in place all this week, which is good. My elbow hasn't really been hurting all that much. I do still wear the brace most of the time, especially when I'm knitting. My wrist has what's really been bothering me, but 1 out of the 3 spots is way better than all 3 of 3. So anyways, we're moving forward, which is good. Yeah. All right, so going on / coming up, as of February 1st, the Stranded Colorwork Knit Along that I'm co-hosting with Lisa, Fiber Nymph of the 90% Knitting podcast, that has started. It goes February 1st to March 31st, and it's true color work. You can do 2 colors, you can do 20 colors, it doesn't matter how many, it can't be the slip stitch kind of look. It has to be actual, at least 2 strands going, in a row kind of thing. No particular size. You can do a tea cozy, you can do a coaster, you can do a sweater, you can do a blanket if you want. Whatever you want to do, join in. Have it as complicated or as simple as you like. It doesn't really matter. There are going to be prizes. I don't know what prizes yet. I know Lisa's offering some. I'm leaning towards possibly like 1 or 2 patterns being gifted because I can't afford to ship anything internationally. So it's easier for me just to gift patterns. But yeah, that'll be nailed down. We have time. And feel free to post in my group and her group. Also, any other group that's having a knit along that this falls into, go for it. I'm pretty lax on it. Really the only requirement, two main requirements. Starts and ends, February 1st, March 31st, and that it's actual stranded knitting. Other than that, I don't care. So, yeah, it's just a way to get us all to, work on something that maybe we've been wanting to work on, or just improving our color work skills, or, whatever you'd like. So anyways, I'll show you my project. It's not very far along, but you'll see why with my other projects. So as far as coming up, the only thing is something that'll be coming up in a couple months, but I'm not quite ready to talk about that yet. So I will let you know when it comes a little bit closer. I did kind of talk about it a little bit in my last podcast when I was talking about that I do have to buy a plane ticket. I still have not done that. I've been obsessively watching the airline sites, all the different ones, and watching for the best price. It's still far enough away that the best price window isn't here yet, so I'm not worried about it. If it drops down within about $10 or $15 of what I know the low should be, then I think I'll probably jump on it anyway, just to make sure the tickets don't sell out, which I don't think they will, but then I don't have to have really stupid crappy times. So anyways, yeah, that will be coming up, and I will for sure tell you about it. Yeah, and that's all. So let's go into the knitting. I'm actually going to show you my FO first because there's only one, and it's what I have on. It was something that I started a couple years ago, if you remember. It's just a tube that I cast on and used my leftover sock scraps. Well, not just sock, but fingering weight scraps. And I decided the other day, I pulled it out because the two main things I have on the needles are sweaters, and I don't want something big like that to be the knitting that I take to church, because I try to be, people already know I do it, but I try not to draw more attention to it than it already does just by sitting there and knitting. And so I decided something small like this would be good. And as I was working on it, I was like, you know what, this is almost done. And so that night I checked and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to finish this little mini skate, this ball that I'm on, and call it good. So it's done. I cast on provisionally 60 stitches with, I think, like a size 2 or 2.5 maybe, and knit, and then joined it together. So it's kind of fun to look back at all the different yarns, because I can remember what they all were. A couple of them were mailed to me from my friend Heather, and so when I look at those, I remember that she mailed those to me to use, and things like that. So I think I'll probably cast another one on, and in another couple years I'll have another one. I also am going to go up a needle size. I'm thinking probably to like a 3 or a 4, just because it's kind of dense, even though it's looser than what I would do for like socks. So I want it to kind of hang a little bit more. I mean, I know it hangs, and I could actually put it on a 3rd time if I really want it up and snug and it doesn't choke me or anything. I can do that. So anyway, I have this foink in my hair. So anyways, yeah, I'm loving it. I've been wearing it to work the last couple nights just because it's so much fun. And I like to say it matches. It's going to match every outfit I ever wear, and it's going to also at the same time clash with every outfit I ever wear. So I have a hair on my neck. So anyway, it's fun. It's finished. So nothing too crazy special, but it's fun to look back and remember the different projects I made with the different stuff. So yeah, so let's go to works in progress. And I'll just work my way through my pile here. Oh, hey, I have 2 in here. This one, I don't remember if I had started it 2 weeks ago. I think I might have started it that night. It's actually just a mug cozy for one of my assistant managers. Her birthday's coming up this month, and I think I might have shown it to you. It hasn't really gotten much work done on it. If I didn't, then that's all right. It's just a right twist, little kind of a mock cable with some plain ribbing down here. And I'm going to go until it's, is it 4 inches? Yeah. I'm going to go until it's about 4 inches. So that's about another inch. And then I'll put the ribbing on, you know, some ribbing after that. And here's the yarn that I'm using. I don't have the ball band. It's actually a cabled yarn. So it's 3 2-plies that are plied together, which I love. I love cabled yarns. The way they show the stitches and just the roundness of them is very, very different from what we're used to using. So anyway, that'll be done soon. Her birthday's the 21st. The other thing that's in this bag is my Knitting Game Mystery Knit Along scarf that I'm doing. Again, this is my Polworth hand spun that was a rainbow that I got from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. It had all 6 different colors in 1 ounce, kind of their own 1 ounce ball of fiber, and I got 2 of them. Ended up with way too much yarn than I ever knew what to do with, and so this is perfect. We are now through clue 6, so the 2 that you haven't seen are clue 5 here and clue 6. The red is actually almost gone. I was wanting to get through clue 7, and then clue 8 was going to be the transition one, but I have a feeling that clue 7 might start to be the transition. Red and orange don't show up very well on screens, so anyway, we'll see how far that red goes. I'm not too worried about it. If it starts to change early, whatever. It's going to be a 10-foot scarf. I don't really care if it's 1 clue off on that. Whatever. So I'll just get back on with the other ones. So there's that one. The scarf I'm doing on size 3s, and the cup cozy I'm doing on size 4s. This is one of my 31 zipper pouches. This is also a 31 zipper pouch. And this is my Crazy Stripes tee shirt. That is actually the class that I'm teaching right now. I'm going to spread this out a little bit. The yarn that I'm using is Knit Picks Stroll, and they had their brights, which were their neons. So as you can see, I'm done with the top part here. The sleeves are off on waste yarn, and I have done, I'm actually going to turn it upside down so I can show it to you a little better. I've done my first kind of color wedge. She calls them color blocks. And I have to do 6 of these. And I did it just in a day yesterday, between going to knitting in the morning for a couple hours at a coffee shop, and then last night finishing it off. It's just 20 rows, and they're short rows, so obviously you're not going all the way around. And so if I'm able to get, you know, 1 a day, kind of, that'll go pretty quick. So the size I'm making, the 35, I think I'm making the 35 inch. Even though I have a 38 inch bust, I'm closer to like 35 up here, and I think that'll fit me better. It should, because the 38s are always too big up here, but they fit. But anyway, I needed it to fit up here. So I'm really enjoying the yarn. If you haven't used their yarn before, it's very soft, and it's, I think, yeah, it's just a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, and it comes in 231 yard, 50-gram put-ups, and it's very reasonably priced. I did research on it because you all know how Knit Picks yarn is. Some of it is really good, and some of it, well, anyway, isn't. So I'm trying to remember who the author is. Anne Lernoux is the designer. And like I said, it's called the Crazy Stripes Tee, and I'm doing this on size 5 needles, which is shocking because I always have to go down. I think I talked about this last time. Maybe I had swatched. I usually have to go down a needle size in order to get gauge, and this time I had to actually go up a needle size, which is it literally never happens. This is the first time it's ever happened. So yeah, that was kind of weird. But anyway, I'm getting gauge, and oh, whoops, this goes back in this bag. It's the last needle. So anyways, that's coming along really well, and it's really fun to work on. And it's fingering weight yarn, so you know there are quite a few more stitches on there than maybe like a worsted, but it's coming together really fast, and it's holding my attention because you know you're doing the striping, and the yarn is soft, and so it's really enjoyable to work on. And the pattern is very well written. What I really like is that she actually has the pattern split into 2 different PDFs, one for extra small, small, and medium, and the other one for large, extra large, and double extra large. So that way you don't have like, you know, 8 numbers you're looking at. You just have the 3, and it's just so much easier to follow that way. So I'm making the medium, and it's funny because I've never followed like the biggest size before, so that kind of throws my brain off. I'm used to following something around in the middle, but anyway. So yeah, that's a really great pattern. If you ever want something fun to work on, that would definitely be it. The mitered square blanket, I'm still working on that, my secret project here. I got off for a couple of days. I didn't make any, but then I tried to make up for it by making like 3 or 4 over the next couple of days. So I might be off a little from what I was, but either way, I've actually made 3 full rows now, and anytime I finish a square, even if I'm getting ready to put it down, I always pick up the stitches for the next square, and this will go up here. I always pick it up, because then I don't have to look at what the next color is going to be. I've already done that, and I have it on, so that way if I have 20 minutes to make a square really quick, I can just pick it up and work on it. And it makes it so I can just pick up and work on it, because then if I have to do extra looking or stuff, it's like, oh, I don't have time for that. I have time to pick it up. So anyways, it's coming along. It'll still be a while before it's finished, but it's very much more realistically going to be finished this time around, because the squares are so much smaller. I'm able to do a couple in a day, and it doesn't take an hour and a half. So anyway, there's that. And this is just, the blue is Red Heart. The brown is, I don't know, Michael's version of Red Heart. And the red is also that as well. And the cream color I have is the Karen 1 pound. So it's 100% acrylic. I know not everybody likes that. I know some people think that you should always use wool, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I want this to be able to be trampled on and thrown in the washing machine for the next 20 years. So, plus I needed to be able to afford the yarn. So, anyway, I'm not talking about the pattern that it is on the off chance that the person I'm making it for happens to look. Even if I didn't say who it was for, it would be extremely obvious who it was for and what it was. So I'm not going to say any more than just my secret project there. And when it starts to become obvious what the picture is, I'm going to start folding it just so I can show you, and I might not even do that. I might fold it in half and fold it in half again, or just tell you, hey, look. Or I might not show you at all and say, I did a whole nother row. And you'll just have to trust me. So anyway, last thing that's on the needles has now fallen down, and it is my color work project. It's a sweater called Gray Sparrow, Grey. And I showed you the colors last time. It's out of Nature Spun Sport, the non-superwash. I have Coffee Bean, Red Fox. I've split them up just so I can keep them behaving. And then I haven't started using yet the, oh, I'm pulling on the inside of the bag there. The Saddle Tan, which is the third color. If you look at the actual project, it is in gray, white, and yellow. And I'm doing mine in brown, tan, and red, which is fine. And I did the band. I cast on Sunday night. I was like, or Saturday. Yeah, because Sunday was the first. So Saturday night at midnight. So, Sunday morning at midnight, however you want to say it. I cast on and did one row. So I at least had it started. And then Monday I did a few more rows of the bottom band. I was trying to get more done on my Crazy Stripes teak because I'm teaching that class, obviously. And with the limited amount of knitting time I have, I already had that pattern going, and I wanted to get far enough along that when I work on this, I didn't feel like I was neglecting my class. So anyways, then Tuesday night I sat and I thought I had finished the bottom band, which today I realized I needed to do one more row when I actually measured it. So I did one more row and then started the color work. So I'm not very far in. I'm on row 6, just getting ready to start row 6 of the color work. But here's what I have so far. And the fun thing about color work, and it was mentioned before, is that you see it right away. You get 2 rows of it done, and you're like, hey, there's a pattern there. So even though it's just stockinette for 34 centimeters, it's kind of fun that this is all in metric too. 34 centimeters of just plain stockinette. It's not just plain stockinette because I'm doing this awesome color work. So here's what I have so far. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm getting gauge. For the most part, I checked it. I mean, I know it's only a few rows, but I wanted to double check to make sure that my floats, were okay and all that. And the thing with this yarn is that it will bloom, and I can block a little. There's some give with this, and I needed to have 7 stitches to the inch, and I have maybe 7 1/4, which I know makes a big difference when you have, over 200 stitches on the needle, but I can actually block it out where it is 7 stitches to the inch. So that's what I will do when it's time to block it. I will just block it to gauge, because that's what you're supposed to do. The gauge actually says 28 stitches over 4 inches when blocked. So I'm close enough that I'm not worried about it, because like I said, I'll be able to block it. Let's see, I have my pattern. Oh, let me show you the bag. This is my awesome cube bag. I love this thing, man. I wish I had 3 of them so I could put my 3 things, but I don't have that kind of money just laying around right now. I have saved my money for my trip that you don't know about yet. Well, that you don't know what it is. I'm using my sweater bag from Knitting's My Bag. and I love it. So I like being able to use my larger bags that I found. Something else that you'll probably start to see a little bit of progress on, because these obviously take some mind power and counting, like on the Crazy Stripes tee. And sometimes when I come home from work, I just want to pick something up and knit. And so I'm going to pull out my 10 stitch blanket a little bit. And I mean, I have it, but I'm going to pull it out so it's easily accessible. So that way, on a night when I just want to zone out, I can do a few inches on that. So anyways, I'll put a little doodad where I am now and show you any progress I might have as it comes along. Let me look. I feel like I'm saying a lot. Okay. I'm on row 6. I'm using, so I don't know if you've ever heard of Scentsy. It's, there's a warmer and then you put wax in there, so instead of a candle. Anyways, I used to sell it a long time ago, and so I got these boards for when we did like home parties. And on this other side here, there's a flap, so we could put in like a catalog or whatever. But it's great to hold my chart. That doesn't show you too much. So I have only a black and white printer, and so it's the dots are red to show the red from the brown. I want to tell you who this is by. Clara Falk, F-A-L-K. Here's the front page for you. Like I said, I know it's in black and white, but you can still get an idea. Yes, this is a steeked sweater, which is very exciting to me. I've never done steeks, so it will be a great learning opportunity for me. I think anyway. So yeah, I think there is someone else who posted about doing steeks for the first time on the 90% knitting board. So I responded and said, hey, I'm steeking too. We'll get to learn together. And we're both very excited about that. So anyways, if you've steeked before and have any tips or tricks, or your favorite way of doing it. It's very dry here. My scalp is itchy. So yeah, anyways, if you have a favorite method of steeking, let me know. If there's a YouTube video about it. The one that I was looking at is actually one that Knit Picks put out, and it's you hand reinforce it instead of sewing machine reinforce it, and that's what I'm leaning towards, because I don't want to take the chance of that thick of a fabric possibly, getting jammed in there, because I've heard of that happening. And yeah, so I would, and there's just, I don't know, something, I don't want to say more authentic, but just something about the fact that everything would be done by hand on that. On that part. I also have seen that you can do the ribbon, to kind of tack it down, and I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. I haven't really watched anything about it, and I think a machine might have to come into play on that, but I don't know. So yeah, if anybody out there wants to lead me, I would love it. So yeah, and that's actually all I have for you. I haven't spun. I would like to. In fact, my wheel is just sitting right over there, and maybe since I'm already sitting in this chair, I might just pull it out and spin for the next 15 or 20 minutes. I don't have to be to work until 6 today instead of 5. So, and I think my kids might have just gotten home. So anyways, no designing, none of that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up in under 30 minutes. If you have questions or anything, feel free to PM me on Ravelry. And until next time, keep knitting. Bye.